Warning, this video may contain graphic content, such as sexual scenes, violence, gore, boobies, and the rest of the fun stuff. Please be over 18 to view this, and don't say we didn't warn you, little sinners.
Endlessly searching for an original
Well, hello and welcome to the Indie Files. We are looking at Seeds of Chaos. Let's start our game. Our story begins in the village of Arthdale, a small hamlet in the Rosarian Valley. The village itself, to a person who did not know better, would seem like any other small peasant village in Rosaria. During the day, the sounds of the clang of the blacksmith's hammer and children at play fill the air, while the villagers go about their daily business. At night, the local tavern is full of farmers returning home from long days at work on the field. The village inn has very few visitors. It would be truly unremarkable if it were not for the fact that one of its inhabitants helped play a major part in the victory against the last demon lord, Rowan Blackwell, along with his companions, had defeated Karnus and saved the 6 realms from eternal darkness. 7 years had passed since that fateful day, and our hero now lived out his days in peace in the uneventful village. Now lived out his days in peace in the uneventful village, life with his childhood sweetheart and wife, Alexia.
Ah, Rowan, there you are. Back from your morning patrol already.
I like to set out early while Alexia is still asleep. That way I can avoid disturbing her. Even after all these years, I still have trouble sleeping past sunrise.
I often find myself wondering why you still do that. We've never had much trouble around here, even during the war. The fighting never made it this far south.
Let's see, we must remain vigilant. Old habits die hard. Exercise is important. The long walks are good exercise, and without the fighting to keep me fit, I need something to stop me from putting on weight. And you know what my wife's cooking is like. She could feed the entire village. I swear that woman is trying to fatten me up like a cow.
You should not complain too much. Rowan. Nearly 50 years I spent married to a woman, the goddess rest her soul, who could not cook to save her life.
Marty's cooking was surely not that bad.
You try eating a meat as tough as an old boot 7 nights a week. That is the mark of true love. And now that she's gone, would you believe that I miss it?
I'm sure she's looking on from the world beyond and waiting for the day that you will be together again.
If she is, she's probably cursing me for bad-mouthing her cooking. Another week of back pain.
Speaking of being cursed by wives, I should get home. Mine is probably wondering where I am by now.
Give Alexia my best, and thank her for the food she sent over to the poor widow.
I think it's widower. It should be widower. I will. Try not to get in too much trouble between now and when I next see you.
I am not making any promises, and you can't prove I am.
Slide on out. Alexia, are you home, my love? I'm just in the kitchen cleaning up the mess I made making dinner. How was your walk?
Uneventful, thankfully. There's a few travelers on the road to Restel, and the western woods seem quiet. Most of the people I saw were farmers off to work the fields. It looks like they will have a good harvest this year. Why did I go back to that voice? I don't know.
I've heard the same from some of the women in the village. There's already talks of a feast to be held in honor of Diamond, to give thanks for her blessing, which we will have to attend, no doubt. I bet you've already told them we will be there. It was bad enough with all the parades after the war, and now the village is starting to follow suit. I know you hate these things, but it would be terribly bad manners not to attend. Whether you like it or not, you are an important person around here. Plus, it would probably not hurt to stay on the good side of a goddess, you know. Let's leave her be. Are you expecting anyone? Only Nema, but she is not due until after her husband comes home. She is teaching the children today, so it's very unlikely it will be her. I'm gonna save. Because we know I'm going to. I ran a test of this. Whoever it is, it sounds urgent. It could be someone in trouble. Go and wait in the other room. I'll see who it is. Be careful. I always am. One moment, I'm coming. Well, aren't you a pretty little thing? Rowan opens the door to discover standing before him a beautiful young woman. Drawn around her is a red cloak, the hood pulled up to conceal her pale, silvery hair. Her attractive face wears a look of extreme worry. Something is clearly very wrong. Thanks, Salancia. You are home, hero. I need your help. It is my daughter. She's... Before she can get the rest of her sentence out, the woman bursts into tears. Please, come sit down. Let me find you something to wipe your eyes. Just try to breathe. Rowan roots around the room until he finds a small scrap of cotton from his wife's sewing material, suitable to use as a makeshift handkerchief. Here, take this. He hands it to the distressed young lady, who uses it to dry the tears falling from her striking gold eyes as she shuffles. Wait, weren't they red? Thank you. Awkwardly, she tries to return the handkerchief, but Rowan just smiles and motions for her to keep it. Now, let us start with something easy. What's your name? Oh, Goddess Bend, where are my manners? My name is Mario. With that, she bows her head slightly and offers her hand. Rowan takes it briefly, recalling the many women he had met at all the balls following the triumph of the crusade. High-born, this one, he thinks. Nice to meet you, Mario. I am Rowan. Now, what's all this about your daughter? I know who you are, hero. That is why I came here. Please help me. My daughter... Oh, gods, it's terrible. Just tell us. With crying, Mario slumps down in her seat, covering her face with her hands. At that moment, Alexia re-enters from the other room, having heard a woman's voice. Is she all right? Seems there's been some sort of trouble with her daughter. Truth be told, I'm having a hard time getting it out of her. What is her name? Mario. Okay, let me try a softer approach, darling. You do have your ways. Alexia goes over to the side of the room where the other woman is sat, weeping, and places her arm around her in a delicate manner as not to startle her. Come now, Mario, everything will be fine. I'm sure. My name is Alexia. I am Rowan's wife. You just tell Rowan what the problem is, and I will make you something hot to drink. The simplest act of kindness seems to have helped Mario regain her composure as she sat up straight, removing her hands from her face. Yes, thank you. That is very kind. Try and stay calm and tell me about what has happened as best you can. Start at the beginning. We were returning to Porthia from Urvaroth, where we had been visiting family. We had hoped to return earlier in the year, but heavy snowfalls had made the mountains impossible to traverse. When the first thaws came, we left the home with 2 knights of the House of Arild as protection, owing to rumors of orc sightings believed to be hiding out in the caves up in the passes. Alexia returns with a cup and hands it to her. Thank you, Alexia. The journey was uneventful, though. Once we left the mountains behind, the knight took their leave to return to Urarth, believing Rosaria to be peaceful enough for us to travel alone. Not an unfair assumption. There is very little trouble these days. Travelers are generally very safe, as long as they stick to the trade roads. That was all my thought, so I had no objection to the knights returning home, and everything was peaceful until yesterday. Was that when something happened to your daughter? Yes, we were camped in the fields not far from here, hoping to make our way to Rostel today. But when I woke this morning, my Nira was nowhere to be found. I searched the fields all morning, asking farmers and other travelers if they had seen her, but nobody had. I can only think that she somehow has ended up in the western woods. If something has happened to her, I don't know what I will do. I can't lose her. The thought of something may have happened to her child is too much for Mariel to bear, and she begins to sob uncontrollably again. Console her. I am sure she's perfectly fine. You know what children are like. She probably got curious and wandered off in the night. I bet she's just lost. And I am good at finding lost things. I will find her, I promise. Oh, you will? Oh, thank you so much. I do not know how I will ever be able to repay you. There is no need for any payment, Mariel. Kindness costs nothing, and the goddess teaches us that we should always help those that are in need. I will get my things and leave immediately. We do not want her out there after the sun goes down. Rowan leaves the pair to recover his equipment, kept in storage for the better part of the last 7 years. He had taken the blade out every now and then to oil it, a process that had been drilled into him during his military years. But other than that, it had laid untouched. When he returned, he found the pair chatting away and laughing, and he marveled at how his wife's ability to put other people at ease. Her warmth and her willingness to share it with others was just one of many reasons he had fallen in love with her. I hope I would never have to see those things again, husband. And I had hoped I would never have to wear them. But, on the bright side, at least they still fit me. It's not exactly the best time for your sense of humor. Everything will be fine. I am only taking my sword as a precaution. I will be back before you know it. You just keep Mariel company and try to stop her from worrying so much. Okay, I will. Be safe. Please be careful, Rowan. I would hate for something to happen to you when you were trying to help me. Do not worry about me. I am tougher than I look. With a wink, Rowan leaves the pair to search for the child. Now tell me all about life in the holy city. Her eyes were red, weren't they? This does not look good. A traveler's child is missing. She may have just wandered off, but likely there is something more sinister involved. Do you think she's been abducted? Perhaps. I am heading to the western woods now. The mother thinks that is where she might be. I will send Tobias to Rostel to inform the Duke. We pay out tills for everyone else and are entitled to his protection. Even so, the Duke's men would not get here until morning. It is not a bad idea, though. At the very least, they could escort the lady and her child on if they are not needed. I will not delay you any longer. Take care, my friend. Don't get killed. A few hours later, that is a weird forest. Rowan had found the trail at the edge of the woods and followed it into the interior. At a glade, somehow deep inside, he kneels to inspect the ground. These footprints must be hers. They're too small to be those of an adult, but they seem to just vanish into thin air. Rowan looks up into the canopy above him. Perhaps she had climbed a tree in order to get her bearings from a higher vantage point, or even to avoid danger? Returning to his feet, he surveys the landscape around him. Nothing else has passed through to disturb the soil, and there is nowhere nearby either to mask her tracks. This is a real mystery. Just falls on him. From somewhere within the thick bush, an unseen assailant loosens an arrow. Luckily for Rowan, it misses its mark, flying harmlessly past him and embedding itself on a nearby tree. An attack? Half a dozen orcs emerge from the trees around him, surrounding him. Rowan could see no way out except through them. The largest one, their leader, he reasoned, stepped forward, confident in the odds, no doubt. Where's the girl? Is no girl. What do you mean? Is no girl, never was. Is trap, you stupid human. Fall for trap like all other stupid humans. The realization hit Rowan like a twist of a knife in the stomach. If this was a plan to trap him all along, then Alexia and the rest of the village were in even more danger than he was. He had to get back there. He fingers the grip of his sword and eyes the orc before him. The only way out is through. I know what you're thinking. Don't be stupid, human. Be smart, human, for change. Just put weapon down. Don't make fuss. Can't do that, I'm afraid. Shame. We have to kill them. Boss won't be pleased. I wonder if we can reason with him. Haha, you let me say. It's not too late. We could still all walk away from this. Only ones walking away from this be orcs. Orders is orders, human. So be it. Yay! Background fighting! That actually looks like a really cool picture, honestly. In a flash, Rowan draws his sword from its sheath, just as the first orc rushes towards him, bringing his blade up to meet the incoming axe. The sound of steel clashes against steel rings throughout the otherwise tranquil woods. The orc is strong, but like the rest of his kind, sluggish, and no match for a swordsman of Rowan's skill. Even within a few years of rust, he turns the axe away with a twist of the wrist and sinks the riposte deep within the orc's chest with ease. Backing his foot against the slumped orc, Rowan pulls his blade clear just in time to meet the next enemy's blade. He still had his work cut out for him, but he was to get out of these woods alive. And in the summer, it's really beautiful. They have processions through the city to the Cathedral of Light in honor of Solenzia. Everyone wears the most wonderful outfits. It's so colorful and lively. I cannot wait to return after a few months in Uvarth. It will be the most welcome change in scenery. Is Uvarth really so bad? I have heard tales of the cold deep enough to splinter bones, but I confess I always doubt their veracity. They are true enough, I'm afraid. If you were to get caught up in the tundra in the dead of winter, it's best you'd survive with bitter frostbite, should you survive at all. It is not just cold, though. The whole city is solemn. The Lord locked themselves away in bicker at each other. It is almost as if the place has become a tomb. The day their ancestors swore an oath to guard Orog's fall.
And the chasm, did you see it?
Only from the walls of the city. Even from the distance it seems impossibly deep, and the land around it's blackened like the northern waste. Nothing grows there, even the snow seems to avoid it. I do not know if it is Fell Dragon truly does slumber in prison somewhere at the heart of it, but the Lord suddenly believe it to be true. The sense of foreboding I felt when looking at the hole makes me think they might not be entirely wrong.
Speaking of sense of foreboding, Alexia rises from her chair and walks to the window, hoping to catch a glance at her husband returning down the lane to the cottage. To her despair, she sees nothing but the sun sinking lower to meet the horizon. It's getting late, and there's still no sign of Rowan. He should have been back by now if he was searching the western woods. I have to admit I am starting to get a little worried. Hopefully he will not be much longer in returning.
Oh, I think he might be a while, longest yet, my sweet girl.
What do you mean by that?
By now he will have captured a little trap I left for him in the woods, and the orcs will keep him busy.
Orcs? Marielle rose from her seat, and the smile on her face morphed into an evil smirk. The change was so severe, it was as if a veil had been lifted, and the woman was now someone else completely.
Do not worry your pretty face, Alexia. It is nothing your husband cannot handle. They will just keep him busy for a little while, until we've had our fun.
We? Who else is with you, and why are you doing this?
All in due time, my dear. I suppose this ruse has gone on for long enough. I do enjoy a good chortle, but all good things must come to an end, as they say.
With that, Marielle waves her hand, and a white-hot light pulses through the room, sending Alexia tumbling backwards onto the hardwood floor. When the blinding light cleared from her eyes, she could see again where the white-haired girl had been stood was now a beautiful blue-hued woman, clearly not human and naked as the day she was born.
You're a demon.
Damn it!
Aren't you quick to catch on? This will not do, though. I'll catch my death of cold.
With another wave of her hand, the demon summoned herself a revealing outfit, a low-cut red and gold dress to emphasize her ample cleavage, accompanied by a pair of long black leather gloves.
This is much better. Now what am I going to do with you?
Meanwhile, back in the western woods, Rowan had managed to slay most of the orcs. Now all that stood in his way to returning to his home was one who had spoken to him while the trap had been sprung. Stupid human, why you no give up? You can't win, we too strong. Look around you, I think the odds are swinging firmly in my favor. The orc's sword had shattered from earlier parry, and he now came at Rowan, swinging a crudely made axe wildly. Powerful but slow and deliberate, the hero thinks as he bats another blow away. At this rate, it will not take long before he tires himself. Ha ha ha. See, this is why you're stupid, human. Me not talking about orcs, me talking about orcs master. Kill me, kill lots of orcs, don't matter. And just who are these so-called masters? Me not telling, you find out soon. Orcs not supposed to spread this, not supposed to spoil surprise. The two clash again and again. The orcs attempt to use his superior strength to force advantage,
when their weapons lock. His smaller opponents, not foolish, even the engaging in the contest's strength, opts to period, sending the orc tumbling past him. As he spins, he brings his blade, the long bloody slash down the monster's back causes the beast to cry out in rage. What have you done to my village? You'll find out soon enough, but it's not too late already. With a final cry of rage, the orc charges Rowan one last time, intent on killing his foe. Tired and wounded, dodging, it is no challenge for Rowan, who sidesteps and hacks one last time at the orc champion's midsection. The blade finds its target and bites deep. The orc sinks to the ground, finally defeated. Maybe he was wrong. Maybe it's not too late. I have to get back. Gotta protect the village. And hold on, Alexia, I'm coming. Peacefulness. Sometime after Rowan leaves, the orc rises from the floor. He had only been playing dead all along, and though wounded severely, he is able to stand under his own power. See? Knew human was stupid. Can't kill me. Me strongest orc of all. As if responding to the orc's claim, a shadow in the glade begins to lengthen until they full cross at the center. From the dark ground, as if stepping out through the very shadows themselves, appears a demon, blood red in color, covered in black markings. He looks thoroughly displeased. If you were the strongest, surely you would have been defeated. Surely you wouldn't have not been defeated by lowly human. Human was strong, big hero, and your sister say, you dare defy me? Not defy, just do as ordered. Weakness will not be tolerated. God, I am so tempted to give him the voice. If you do not have the strength to even defeat a human, what use are you? With lightning quickness, the demon plunges his clawed hand deep into the orc's chest, piercing his heart. The orc drops to the floor, and this time it was certain he would not rise again. Pathetic. Now, I know you want to see what happens next. If you guys want me to continue this game, let me know in the comment section, and maybe we'll do it after Delirium. For now, guys, I have to go. Link is in the description if you want to support these creators, which I think you should. If you want to support me, see stuff uncensored, see artwork, get to request artwork, get sound bites and other things from me and everybody else on the channel, go ahead and check out my Patreon. Check out Chaotic Hunters, our channel for multiplayer fun, Chaotic Stories, where we do stories and other things, lots of art and fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.